everybody, Melissa here again to make another video. Yes, I am wearing the exact same thing I was wearing in my hair update video because they're being filmed on the same day and I couldn't be bothered to change my outfit just for the sake of recording a video. It's clean, I'm wearing a bra, you're here, that's just it. Uh, Today's video is a doll video, or should I say this video is a doll video. This is tag I think that was started by Asenva BJD on YouTube. She's been in the doll hobby for I have no idea how long. She's one of the first people I've ever seen on YouTube doing doll videos. And she did a tag, and my friend Kiara, or Chaos World here on YouTube, did the tag, and then she tagged all of her friends. So here I am to do my own video for the BJD Junior Senior tag. I would be considered a junior in the BJD hobby. I think I've only been in the hobby for maybe 3 years officially. I've known about BJDs since I was like 15, but again, broke high school student, doesn't have the budget to buy something as expensive as BJDs because I didn't even have a part-time job at that time. So I could even buy one of the budget BJDs at the time. And even if I did, I didn't have the means to actually purchase them. I didn't have PayPal, I didn't have online banking, I didn't have any of those things. So here I am, many years later, with quite a good number of dolls in my collection now. Some are still in transit and stuck at the shipper's office, so hopefully one day there'll be a box opening for all those goodies. But I'm going to shut up. Well, not really shut up. I'm going to actually start the tag video and stop talking about random things that you didn't come here for. So here we go. Got my questions on my phone here from the original video, and there are 5 questions for the junior division. And first question is, how did you join the hobby? Let me see if I could remember. I joined the hobby shortly after a family member died. I had been thinking about buying a BJD for a really long time. They had passed on, and I was confronted with the fact that life is really short, and the fact that I'd always been sensible with my money and doing things and saving and hadn't really gotten very many things that I really enjoyed. I was like, screw it, and I bought my first BJD. I kind of went a bit crazy at the beginning because I think I had 6 within the first 6 months of me joining the hobby, which is a bit much. Most of those dolls have moved on to other homes because they were more impulse purchases because I was just looking for things that were cheap. Um, and my first doll was a Lily Cat Constantine in tan skin. I still have her. Her head is currently on a different body, and then her body's been taken over by another head, both of which one of which I still need to color match, but you know, that's a video for another day. That's how I joined the hobby. Question 2. How are you involved in the hobby community? Not that much, I'd say. I have a handful of people that I kind of really talk to on a regular basis. Um, and then aside from that, there are people I follow and who I comment on their posts and things like that. But I keep a fairly low profile in the doll hobby. I do want to open a shop one day making clothes, possibly dolls in the future. So I'm going to have to get more used to peopling on places like Instagram and Facebook and things like that. I'm not really a super huge social media person, really. I mean, I am kind of addicted to Instagram, but Facebook and Twitter and all the rest of those things I'm not really that interested in. But yeah, I do follow a lot of people on Instagram and YouTube, like Sighthound Lady and Sark and Angsty Penguin and just a whole lot of people. But for the most part, I think I have 8 or 10 doll people who I really connect really closely with. And then the rest of the people I just kind of like, we're cool so long as you don't play crazy, and that's fine with me. Okay. Live and let live and be nice to everybody, okay? Question 3. Where can we find you? Instagram, Flickr, etc. Here, obviously. You can find me here. You can also find me on Instagram. My tag there is at the Working Creative 00. Um, and I thought it was kind of clever, that name, because like I had a full-time job, but I was trying to get into selling doll clothes online, so it was like my creative side plus my work side, the working creative. And Double O kind of reminded me a little bit of being a double agent because I have my normal day job and then I have my more creative side when I'm at home. So yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool combo of those two things. Question 4. What do you like in the hobby slash community? There's a couple of things I love, honestly. First and foremost, I love the fact that the people, when you're really close and connected to them, even though you're way across the planet from each other, they're like, everyone's just so flippin' nice when you're like part of this community, when you're really cool with each other. Like you might start talking like one of the first people I actually became friends with in the doll hobby was this chick called Jazz, and like she just kind of slid up in my DMs and was like, "Hey, I heard you liked craft." And at first, I kind of thought it was one of like those bots or something like that. But then, as time went on, I realized that like this chick is really cool, and she's so super talented. Like she made like 5 pairs of shoes in the weekend. She makes jeans and she makes like dresses and corsets and wigs. Like she's done like a ventilated wig because she was bored. And I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. Uh, and like that's another thing. I love the fact that so many people in the hobby have so many different talents. Like Joshy Bear Huggies, or Josh, he does photography, he knits, he crochets, he makes wigs. He made this wig when he was drunk that is absolutely beautiful. It's like pastel blue and purple, and it has like this Farrah Fawcett swoop that's out of this world. I love that wig. I love that wig. Um, and I love the fact that like even though like I said we're all the way across the planet, we can kind of come together and just get really fangirl, fanboy about things we like and get really excited about something. And I noticed particularly in the doll hobby, people get super excited when you like finally get a doll in, or like you finally are able to make something properly after practicing for so long. And there's so much like encouragement and good vibes, like, oh my God, you finally did the thing. Congratulations on doing the thing. And then we're all like, yay. And it's kind of great and a little bit corny, but I like it. I really like the fact that people could be so enthusiastic and so positive about people bettering themselves and learning things and learning new skills. Uh, Another thing that I like about the hobby is the fact that, every now and then you have one or two friends who kind of encourage you to get something that you're kind of on the fence about, and you just kind of be like, well, since you said so. And I know that's kind of an ableist behavior, but every now and then it's just kind of like, do it, do it, do it. And you kind of have to. You kind of have to. So, yeah. Those are just like a handful of things I like most about the hobby. There's so many more, but this video would be hella long if I talked about all of them. So I'm just gonna, maybe there'll be a part 2 at some point. Let's see. What do you not like about the hobby and the community? Okay, I kind of wish that I had done this question first so that I could leave things on a positive note with the things I like in the hobby. But there's only a handful of things I don't like about the hobby. Um, First and foremost are people who do price gouging, like if a company is doing like a discontinuation sale or something like that, and they buy quite a few quite a few of the same head, and then they sell them on the secondhand market for like 2, 3, 4 times what it's actually worth. Or people who like jack up the prices on doll bodies or just dolls in general. And on the one hand, I get it, because in some cases it's a rare doll. They don't make it anymore. It has a company face up. It's well taken care of. It comes with so many things. Then yes, I can logically say, all right, this seems worth it based on how many things come with this doll. But if a doll originally costs $350, but you're charging $700 for it, I don't like that. That seems a bit like they're taking advantage of people, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So that is definitely one thing I don't like about the hobby. The other thing I don't necessarily like about the hobby is people bullying each other about the whole there's this conversation, a very polarized conversation about recasts. People who are for them, people who are against them, people who are neutral. I am of the mindset that you shouldn't bully people because they own a recast. I understand the arguments for and against, but in the end of it all, I still don't think it's right for you to basically go on a witch hunt to find out if people have recasts and then basically make them feel ostracized, because the whole thing about the hobby is that we're all in love with these dolls. That's the all-encompassing thing that I'm getting here. Like, kindness is free. It doesn't take that much effort to be nice. And if you're one of the people who thinks that people should not own recasts, there are gentle ways to encourage people or help them figure out how they can get one that's a legit or something like that. There's no reason to go and taunt people and make fun of people and call them names and make them feel bad about themselves as a person, because purchasing something that isn't necessarily 100% legitimate does not make them a terrible person. It does not. And yeah, like every 3 to 5 months, there's this whole, you know, just influx of more recast drama. And then in cases like that, I just kind of mind my own business and keep the peace, because like I said, I am not one of those people who's going to come for you just because you have something that I feel is an illegal copy. And I do air quotes because that is a phrase I see thrown around a whole lot, in which case technically it is correct, but they're making it sound as if, you're owning an unlicensed firearm. I don't like that. So yeah, I don't like people jacking up prices on things that really shouldn't be that expensive. I don't like the bullying in the hobby when it comes to recast. Um, because I don't like the idea of people bullying other people. I was bullied as a kid, and even if I don't agree with the lifestyle or the choices that people make, I'm not gonna attack you for it. I can be like, hey, maybe that isn't such a good idea. Like, if I know someone is going to be between purchasing a legit body or purchasing a recast, I'd be like, well, the arguments for and against, and that, you know, should someone find out that you have a recast, how that could go, just, weigh the options of like the consequences of your actions before you make a decision in that direction. But if you really want something, then hey, maybe we can find an alternative somewhere. Maybe we can find a body that has a similar aesthetic that's more in your price range. Or maybe the company that you're most interested in has a layaway plan or something. So, yeah, you might have to wait a little bit longer for it, but then you would have something that is exactly what you want without the future possibility of backlash because you wanted this thing. Because in the end, these dolls are art pieces. They're really beautiful, but they're here to be enjoyed and they're here to be shared. And we as adults should be better than children and the name calling and the picking on each other. So that was a lot. Thanks for coming to my TED talk about anti-bullying in the doll hobby. Like, that was so that got so heavy so quick. But yeah, there's a lot of wonderful people here in the hobby. Like I said, my friend Jazz, Josh, my friend Chris, Kiara. There's so many of you who mean so much to me in the short amount of time that we've known each other. I'm part of a craft group. We started like a little chat group on Instagram called Corona and Craft. We changed the name recently because, we were like, the hell with Corona. It's not going to put a damper on our mood and anything. So like every month or so, we come up with different sewing and craft challenges where we basically throw out a topic and you have to make things based on that topic. This month, I think it's ugly Christmas sweaters and pajamas, kind of like for the sleepover when you're waiting for Santa to come with the presents. So yeah, that is this month's theme. I was thinking of knitting my ugly sweater for a girl I had made named Mona Lisa. I joined this art class by an artist called, I think it's Polina Inkiana. She's a Russian artist on Instagram, and she did like an online master class for how to make this multimedia doll that's kind of ball jointed, sort of. Yeah, I really enjoyed the class, and I got my first girl mostly made. I need to blush her body and give her a face up and make her more clothes and things like that. She's definitely not perfect, but I am so happy with how she turned out. And one of these days she'll be shown on the channel or on my Instagram feed. Again, you can follow me on Instagram at the Working Creative double O, all one word, no spaces. So yeah, this has been a hell of a long video. I'm not sure how long I've been talking for. Um, if you have any other questions about my doll collection, I know I want to do the end of year BJD tag soon, but I want to get like the rest of the stuff that I have at the shippers in first and do a box opening, and then I want to do the end of year BJD tag. So there's that. So yeah, any questions about my collection or the doll hobby in general, let me know in the comments down below. Don't comment me about the whole recast issue. I'm too old for drama. I'll just block you and delete your comment. So yeah, love and light, y'all, and I'll see y'all later.